Okay guys, it's time for bookshelf number 3. So I'm going to go through this one today, and I might film the other ones in the near future. I have 3 more left after this one. So, the first thing that I have here is this little flower thing. I don't actually know if it still works. Nope, I think the battery's dead, but it blooms out and it says I love you on it. My husband got it for me a couple years ago. And then I have my Dean Pop from Supernatural. The bad thing is that I'm thinking about reorganizing my bookshelves, so these might change over time, but for now this is what they look like. So first I have a couple of Amanda Hocking books. I have Wait, Lullaby, Title, and Elegy, I think. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that title, but these are all part of the Water Song series. Then I also have Switched, Send, and Torn, all by Amanda Hocking, and this is the Trial Trilogy. Cold Kiss by Amy Garvey. The 11th Plague by Jeff Hirsch. I think this is pronounced Montefioro's Goddaughter, and this is by Elizabeth Brooks. The Winter Sea by Susanna Kersley. And you guys have probably seen this one in my haul recently, Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. Fury by Alexander Gordon Smith. The Sociopath Next Door by Martha Stout. Of Poseidon by Anna Banks. Has anyone read this trilogy? I'm not sure if it's any good or not, and I haven't picked it up yet. Tempest by Julie Cross. Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. The Ring and the Crown by Melissa de la Cruz. Foretold, 14 Stories of Prophecy and Prediction, edited by Carrie Ryan. This has like Rochelle Mead, Lisa McMahon, Laini Taylor, and Meg Cabot, and other authors in there. Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick. Nightmares by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. Faking Normal by Courtney C. Stevens. Let's Get Lost by Adi Al-Said. I think I'm pronouncing that completely wrong. Origin and Vitro by Jessica Cowrie. Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, all by Suzanne Collins. And then I have the Hunger Games Tribute Guide. Alright, we're down to shelf number 2. Ghosts of Heaven by Marcus Sedgwick. Mine Without a Home, a Memoir of Schizophrenia by Christina Morgan. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have started this book but have not finished it yet. Seraphina and Shadow Scale, both by Rachel Hartman. These Broken Stars and This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. The Reformed Vampire Support Group by Katherine Jinks. The Endgames by T. Michael Martin. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and The Last American Vampire, both by Seth Grahame-Smith. Now, I'm not going to pull these out because you guys know what these are. These are all my Harry Potter. And then I have Psych 101, A Crash Course in the Science of the Mind by Paul Kleinman. Midnight Crossroad by Charlaine Harris. No One Else Can Have You by Kathleen Hale. Spoken by Sarah Reese Brennan. Dorothy Must Die and The Wicked Will Rise, both by Danielle Page. And then I have 2 copies of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, one in paperback and one in hardcover. And then I also have Hollow City, all by Ransom Riggs. Crash and Burn by Michael Hassan. Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly. Love and Other Foreign Words by Erin McCahan. 359 by Gretchen McNeil. Alright, down to the 3rd shelf. The Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. A Treasury of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The Immortal Rules. The Eternity Cure. And The Forever Song, all by Julie Kagawa. Tiger's Curse. Tiger's Quest. Tiger's Voyage. And Tiger's Destiny, all by Colleen Houck. And these books are freaking heavy. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Sleep No More by April Lynn Pike. Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. The Taking by Kimberly Durting. Panic by Lauren Oliver. Rebel Bell by Rachel Hawkins. My Sister Lives on the Mantelpiece by Annabelle Pitcher. Chasing Lincoln's Killer by James L. Swanson. Your House is on Fire, Your Children All Gone by Stephen Kaisby. The Vanishing Game by Kate K. Myers. Nil Unlocked by Lynn Matson. Kissing in America by Margot Rabb. The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, and look what that stupid sticker did to my book. This Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earl. Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler, illustrated by Mara Cowman. The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. The Hitchhiker's Trilogy by Douglas Adams. And The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. Okay, we're down to the next to the last shelf, and this is where it gets kind of dark. Going Bovine by Libba Bray. The Duff by Cody Keplinger. Frostfire by Amanda Hocking. Eon and Iona by Allison Goodman. Talk about a cover change. Brain on Fire, My Month of Madness by Susanna Callahan, I think. The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kings Olver, I think. Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. My Name is Memory by Anne Brashers. The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. The Glassblower by Petra Durst-Binning. Cirque de Freak Book 1, A Living Nightmare by Darren Shan. The Leftovers by Tom Perrotta. The Naked Lady Who Stood on Her Head, A Psychiatrist's Stories of His Most Bizarre Cases by Gary Small and Gigi Vorgan. And of course I have to have an Abraham Lincoln book, From Pioneer to President by E.B. Phillips. Shutter by Courtney Alameda. Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. Swell by Corwin Erickson. This was definitely a cover by and I have not read it yet. Every You, Every Me by David Levithan. Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta. When I Was Joe by Karen David. Shades of Grey by Jasper Ford. The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. The Fallen No. 1 and The Fallen No. 2, both by Thomas E. Signosky. Has anyone read these? I haven't. The Addict by Michael Stein. The Book of Awesome by Neil Pasricha. The Vampire Diaries, The Return, Nightfall, and I think this is volume 1. I'm not sure about these other two. The Awakening and the Struggle, and The Fury and Dark Reunion, all by L.J. Smith. Article 5 by Kristen Simmons. The Cabinet of Curiosities, 36 Tales, Brief and Sinister, and this is by various authors. Witches of East End by Melissa de la Cruz. Gold by Chris Cleave. Easy by Tamara Weber. Number the Stars by Lois Lowry, which was one of my favorite books as a kid. The Abstinence Teacher by Tom Perrotta. Bumped by Megan McCafferty. Prom Nights from Hell by various authors, including Stephanie Meyer and Meg Cabot. Hallucinations by Oliver Sacks. Now we're in handheld mode. This is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and this is a pop-up book designed by Robert Sabuda, I think, and he's like really good at pop-up books. Then I have my DSM, which is the 4th edition, so not the newest edition, but that's okay because I don't even use this one. I'm not going to take these out, but I have Sandman Volume 1 and Volume 2, and these things are massive. You've probably seen them in a previous video where I mentioned the biggest books on my shelf. Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkeles. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. Anti-Goddess by Kendare Blake. Pure by Juliana Baggett. The Science of Evil by Simon Baron Cohen. Parallel by Lauren Miller. The Rule of Three by Eric Walters. Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. The Truth That's in Me by Julie Berry. Anna Dressed in Blood. And Girl of Nightmares, both by Kendare Blake. A Billion Wicked Thoughts by Ogie August and oh, I don't even want to pronounce that last name. Get that last name. I think that might come out badly. And then I have a box set here that has Wreck This Journal, This Is Not a Book, Mess, and The Pocket Scavenger, all by Carrie Smith. I didn't feel like taking them out. Alphabet Juice by Roy Blount Jr. Edgar Allan Poe, Complete Tales and Poems. I'm sure a lot of people have this book because I think it's like a Barnes & Noble classic edition or something. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. The Weird, A Compendium of Strange and Dark Stories, edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer. And there's like tons of authors in this, like Neil Gaiman and Stephen King and George R.R. Martin, Haruki Murakami, and Bear's not in it, but he's trying to be. The Vampire Book, The Encyclopedia of the Undead by J. Gordon Melton. And then I randomly have this Dot to Dot Animals, which is an adult connect the dots, and they're a bit complex. The dots are very tiny. I'll show you one that I've done. Here are a few that I've completed. And then I also have a book on paper quilling. If you guys have never seen this before, it's actually a pretty awesome craft that I have not mastered. The last one that I have is the Psychology Major, Career Options and Strategies for Success. And this is by R. Eric Landrum and Stephen F. Davis. So that is it for this bookshelf tour. Don't mind that big stack of books on the left-hand side. Those are all ARCs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll get around to filming the rest of my shelves in the near future. So I will see you next time. Bye!